Good morning, DFLers, and welcome to the DFL Daily. I'm Asha Carroll, the DFL's Senior Director of Communications, Research, and Data, coming to you on day 2 of Farmfest with just 90 days until the November 3rd election. If you've never been, just know that Farmfest is the closest thing Minnesota politics has to the Super Bowl of rural issues. Thousands of farmers, ag producers, and rural families all in one place, and every candidate on the ballot knows that they need to show up ready to answer real questions. Before we get started today, we're going to get you out the door because there is a lot happening across our state this week, and rest assured the DFL is going to be there. First up tonight, it is the SD15 20th annual corn feed happening on tonight, Wednesday, August 5th at 4:30 p.m. in Redwood Falls. Also this evening up in the Metro, Leashes Off, Conversations On in Elk River. That is tonight at 6 p.m. Tomorrow, Thursday, August 6th at 5:30 p.m., head to Ramsey for the Neighborhood Ice Cream Social. Free ice cream, good company, and a chance to connect with your neighbors and local DFL organizers. And then this Saturday, August 8th, there are 2 great ways to spend your morning. At 9 a.m., meet the DFL at Reamer Harvest Days up in Reamer. Come meet the candidates and volunteers working for Greater Minnesota. And at 10 a.m., it's the Newport Pioneer Day celebration down in Newport, a great community celebration. Finally, and we will keep on reminding you this weekend we will all be getting out the vote for Peggy Flanagan and our endorsed slate of candidates for the primary election on August 11th. Sign up to knock doors on this Get Out the Vote weekend. It's going to be an exciting one, and we will drop a link in the chat. Find all of this and more at dfl.org/events. And with that, we'll get back into Farmfest. I'm sure many of you were tuning in, and yesterday's congressional forums did not disappoint, and it started with renewable energy. This is an issue that matters as much to Minnesota's ag economy as new fuel markets would open up opportunities for farmers to sell their goods. So CD1 candidate for Congress, Jake Johnson, whose race was just named one of the most competitive in the whole country, was not holding back against Republicans in Congress who keep promising renewable energy support in the Farm Bill and keep coming up empty. Jake made the economic case plain as day. Let's run the clip.
It's one thing to talk about. We heard the Secretary of Ag talk about we got to get this across the finish line. The reality is our farmers not only need markets, but they need certainty. And so getting this done within the Farm Bill, again, we're hopeful that it's going to happen this time around, but we've heard things before where it's been like, yep, this is going to happen, we're going to do this, and then it just falls short of the finish line. We got to make sure that Congress, the President, all are on the same page when it comes to renewable fuels. Sustainable aviation fuel is a huge market opportunity here in Minnesota, and so making those investments for our farmers is a big part of what we need to do.
You heard it from Jake. This is not some abstract fight. Sustainable aviation fuel and biofuels mean jobs and markets for Minnesota corn and soybean growers right now, and Republicans keep letting the opportunity slip, and they keep losing these farmers money. Jake Johnson also did not let up on Congressman Brad Finstad, the GOP incumbent, over rural health care, and this one should stop you in your tracks. Let's play this clip.
So what we in the House did over the course of the last 2 years is we invested in and passed the largest new form of funding opportunities for our rural hospitals, a $50 billion rural health care fund.
So yeah, there were $50 billion additional dollars for rural health care, but the next line of that is that $137 billion was cut from rural health care. And so that's an $87 billion gap. And listen, in the first district alone, we were forced to close 4 rural clinics. We've heard it time and time again. While subsidies continue to be cut for ACA tax credits, farmers are going without health care if they don't have a town job. That has got to be unacceptable. And so I am advocating.
You heard it there, and I think Jake has spelled it out so well. 4 clinics gone in one district. That means an emergency room that isn't there anymore when someone's dad has a heart attack out on the tractor. Jake Johnson made sure that nobody in that room forgot who has let that happen on their watch, and it is Republicans. They have taken away rural Minnesotans' health care and their safety. So the conversation turned to immigration after that when our DFL endorsed CD2 candidate for Congress, Matt Little, laid out a vision that a lot of farmers in that room needed to hear. Let's roll the clip.
You know, when I was working the farm in high school, milking cows, you know, my grandparents, the workforce was mostly high school kids and local Mennonites that would work the farm. Our labor force has changed, and our immigration system needs to catch up. You know, H-2A visas work if you got temporary, short-term labor. But if you've got year-round operations with livestock or dairy, it doesn't work as well for you. So we need a comprehensive immigration reform that actually works to bring folks here so that they can work year-round, and then provide a pathway to citizenship. If you want to work hard and make a better life for yourself and your family, this is the country to do it in.
Second District Congressional.
Every farmer in southern Minnesota knows that their operation runs because of the people willing to do that work. And Matt Little's saying what we are all thinking out loud. Fix the system and let's take care of our people so it actually works for rural economies and rural communities instead of against them. All right, I've got one more coming up. If you share only one clip today, please make it this one. We are about to show you GOP Congresswoman Michelle Fischbach getting booed, resoundingly booed, trying to defend Trump's tariffs in front of a room full of the farmers who are losing money because of them. Remember, these tariffs lost Minnesota farmers more than $3 billion just in the past year. And instead of answering the room, Fischbach turned around and complained to the moderator about the crowd's reaction. Remember this as you watch the clip. Fischbach is supposed to have home field advantage here. Farmfest is being hosted in her district, a district she won by 40 points by aligning herself with Donald Trump in 2024. And now this is how they are reacting. Watch this.
You know, the administration has used the tariffs for a variety of things, and one of the first things that they were using it for, and the purpose is to bring those countries to the table. They were bringing countries to the table because for 4 years under Biden, there were zero free trade. I'm sorry, but is that appropriate? Is that appropriate to interrupt me? Do I get a little more time since they? Okay, thank you. But let me speak. That would be helpful. But
that's Michelle Fischbach in front of her own constituents. Let's be clear about this. Her constituents are farmers losing money from tariffs, losing money from high gas prices, losing money from a trade war and an expensive war in Iran that they never asked for. When the people who you represent boo you off a stage, the answer is not to complain to the moderator. It is to go fix the policy and do something for these Minnesotans. All right. That was yesterday, and now we are looking at the biggest event today. It is happening right now, and I have our DFL chair, Richard Carlbaum, live from Farmfest coming on the line right about now.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, Richard. Welcome.
Hey, Asha.
Hey, Asha. Redwood County, and things are moving fast today.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to be here on the ground. Great to be here with so many people cheering on Senator Amy Klobuchar and the governor's candidate forum right now as we speak. They're taking turns answering questions around issues like permitting reform and data centers and healthcare in rural America. So many important conversations that we need to be promoting as much as we can. I'm in front of the Farmers Union booth right now, and as I turn around, you'll see the forum is behind me with a lot of folks listening to it. This is a packed tent, one of the largest crowds I've ever had. One of the most important conversations that takes place every 2 years in greater Minnesota. It's about really making sure that we show up in person. This is my second day here. The forums yesterday were fantastic, very informative. Today's Governor's Forum is very interesting. It's Senator Amy Klobuchar versus Lisa Demuth, Kendall Qualls, and Mike Lindell. So it's 3-on-1, but Senator Klobuchar is holding her own. You can watch it live on YouTube, and you'll see it this afternoon as well. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you for keeping rural issues in Greater Minnesota top of mind as we continue to do everything we can to win anywhere in the state by organizing everywhere. Thanks everybody, and have a great rest of your call.
Thank you for calling in, Richard. Happy Farmfest. All right. Best of luck to all of our candidates at the forums today. And you heard it. We have Amy Klobuchar at the Governor's Forum happening this morning. And then our U.S. Senate candidates, our endorsed candidate, Peggy Flanagan, will be at the forum this afternoon. So next up, I just want to recap for us here, okay? There's a packed tent happening out there at Farmfest, tough questions and zero room to dodge. And we saw it in real time yesterday. We saw these Republicans really squirm and fail to answer to what they are losing their constituents. So final recap, Jake Johnson held Republicans accountable on rural health care. Matt Little made the case for real immigration reform, and Michelle Fischbach got an earful from her own constituents over tariffs. And make sure that you support her opponent, Eric Osberg, who I know was fantastic at yesterday's forum as well. Now for today's action. All eyes on the Governor's Forum with Amy Klobuchar right now. I want you to go over there and hop onto farmfest.com, find the live stream forums page, and get ready to watch today. We're going to put that link in the chat, and I know I'm going to be hopping over there right now. And then once you've tuned in, we asked you to do some of this yesterday, but I want you to do this today as well. Make a note of the most important thing that you heard. We will open the call tomorrow, reading your comments live on our call. With that, we have just 90 days until the November 3rd election. Let's go win this thing.